Howdy, y'all. It's that time again. So, I'm going to share my personal journal for the last week. This is going to be from, let's see, it was Friday, November the 26th until Thursday, December the 2nd. Okay, so Friday, it was cold and clear. We had a high in the low 60s and a low in the low 20s. Cold, frosty, and still early this morning when I let Howard out. I don't know why he wakes me up at 4 a.m. to go out in the freezing cold darkness, but it's far easier to just open the door and go back to bed than to try to argue with him. So, lazy fur mama that I am, I just let the spoiled thing come and go as he pleases. Still plenty of leftovers left from Thanksgiving, so I don't have to do much cooking today, which is good because I certainly don't feel like it. When I got up this morning, my joints were on fire. My right hip is aching like a tooth with a hole in it. I haven't had a bad spell in a while, and this one caught me by surprise. We were going to stop by Uncle Gary's today and see the other side of his family, but I'm in no shape to visit, so maybe we'll catch up with everyone at Christmas. I'm still keeping all the cats in, except Howard, of course. For one, they've been running off, and I don't feel like chasing them. And for two, I'm seeing Willow out and about, laying in the sun. He's looking fat and happy, and I want to give him that chance. It won't be long, and I will have to trap him and take him to the vet to be fixed. And I'm worried that he will run away after that. On Saturday, it was clear and cool with a high in the low 60s and a low in the low 20s. Carrie came by late last night. She had braved the traffic and she did some Black Friday shopping yesterday in Texarkana. She got some really good deals on some nice gifts from Bath and Body Works. And I'm glad she stopped by and stayed the night. We had a good visit. And she didn't have to drive another hour home in the dark, all tired with deer running around everywhere. Let me show you what she got me, what her and her daughter found for me. I think Cameron actually picked this out. First of all, some wonderful Golden Girl bookmarks. Look at those. They're magnetic bookmarks, so they kind of clip on. Little page marks. They're wonderful. They're really good pictures of each of them. Love it. So those, I'm going to put those in my stocking. And I got this lovely little golden book about Betty White. It is so wonderful. I'm not going to read it to you or anything, but I didn't even know this existed. And it's all about Betty, where she was born, where she grew up, and her, all the different things she's done in her life, and how she was on the stage and how she was on TV, and she got her own show. I think it was called Life with Elizabeth. Yeah, Life with Elizabeth. She got her own show and she was the star of the show. And that's actually a pretty good show. And it's talking about all the different stuff she's done on TV and how she met her husband. And he was the host for Password, and she was always on Password. She's hilarious on there too. And then, of course, she was one of the main characters on The Golden Girls. And she's just awesome. Everything about her is awesome. So I love this book. And I love the fact that whenever they saw this book, they thought about me. Oh, and obviously, Betty White is a big advocate for animals. She always has been. And I thought this was just awesome. So I'm really, really pleased to get this wonderful little golden book about Betty White. And it is by Deborah Hopkinson and illustrated by Margot Lucas. And it's great. I love it. So I just wanted to share that with you guys that she brought me those things after her Black Friday shopping. Okay. Uh, so we all got up relatively early and we had coffee and got all caught up on what the family's been up to and how everyone is doing. Then she got around and she went on home so she could purge her kitchen and go shopping for new stuff because she is going low carb. And she said she's not waiting until the new year. She was going to do that right after Thanksgiving. So good luck with that. I think that that is a great thing for anyone to try to do. I know she will do great. I also want to do better with my diet and exercise after the holidays. I think that no matter whatever your size is, being mindful of what you put in your body is always wise. Okay, so after Carrie left, I broke out all the toys and tunnels and baskets for the cats to play with because I'm still not letting them out right now. Willow is getting braver and he's hanging out in plain sight, sometimes even on the porch, much to Howard's dismay. He growls at Willow through the glass, but they haven't tied up in a while, even though Howard goes off every morning for a few hours. I guess they just stay away from each other outside. So on Sunday, this was November the 28th, it was warm and bright with a high in the mid 70s and a low in the low 60s. Slim had to work at the mill today, so up early with him. It's oddly warm today and really foggy this morning. I think I'm going to let the cats out today when it clears up. They have been stuck in the house for a few days and they need some fresh air and sunshine. I decided to open all the windows today. It's like 74 degrees outside, so why not? And the cats love to sit in the windows and watch the little birds turning over the leaves in the yard. It's not quite as good as chasing the birds, but they all seem mesmerized by them. When the windows are open and they can hear them, crunching around in the leaves, they all just sit and watch those birds feeding in the yard. Went outside with the cats and kind of ran interference between Willow and everyone else. Willow's pretty good at making himself scarce when I want to let everybody else outside. They had a great time exploring the shed today. I stayed out there with them for a while and then they went and played in the woods. The boys were pretty good about coming back in. I made some homemade beef stroganoff for supper. I used whole wheat egg noodles, and it was pretty good. The whole grain pasta takes a little getting used to, but now that I've started using it, I actually prefer the taste and texture of the whole wheat pasta now instead of the traditional style. And that's true. It seems heartier, and it seems like it has more of um, a wheat taste. It has more of a taste to it. Monday, November the 29th, it was clear and bright. High in the mid 70s, low in the mid 40s. Spent most of the day cleaning. Okay, so I have three major methods of keeping cat hair in check. One, I vacuum everything that sits still. And two, I use lint rollers on every other fabric surface. And three, I wash my covers. I've made crocheted covers for most of the surfaces that the cats hang out on, and I wash them as often as I can. It is amazing how much hair I pick up, and I do these things all the time. I also swept, mopped, dusted, wiped down all the surfaces today. I really didn't feel up to it, to be honest, but I cannot stand it when I see cat hair on everything. I opened the windows today and I saw fur dancing in the sunbeams, which is what prompted me to get busy. Even though it was a beautiful day today, I didn't take the cats out. I was just too busy to pay attention to them like I should and to do everything else that I wanted to do in the house. I had plenty of windows open and they each sat in one for most of the day, so at least they got some fresh air. I decided to make a meatloaf for supper tonight. I used to make it with crackers, but Slim likes it with oatmeal, which is healthier, so that's how I make it now. I may make some mashed potatoes for him, but I think I'll just have green beans with mine. I weighed 194.6 pounds Wednesday before Thanksgiving, and I'm hoping to maintain that through the holidays. So, no potatoes for me. Okay, so Tuesday the 30th was clear and bright again. It's been beautiful. The weather all week has been gorgeous. We had a high in the mid 70s and a low in the low 40s. I decided to go shopping today, and not just shopping, but all kinds of errands. So I got up super early. I took Slim to his cousin's and I headed out. First of all, the sunrise was so beautiful. There were these long slashes of cloud in the rosy sky, and the rising sun had turned them to gold. It looked like God had stitched up the sky with golden ribbons. and crossing the Red River into Texas with the mist rising up. Oh, it was so beautiful. Now, this is when my day turned into an exercise in patience. Shopping was okay. It was before 8 a.m., so no one was out, but I had to wait at the bank, and then I had to wait for some road construction, and then I had to wait for a train. And each one was 30 to 45 minutes. And I started to get really frustrated, and then I decided to listen to something I really like, and so I found a documentary on ancient Egypt, and I tried to be patient. Whew, it was an exercise in patience. Naboo understands. He has to wait to go outside. He has to be patient. This afternoon found me going to give Virginia a lift home from work, which I was happy to do. Apparently, one of her three grandsons, they're all around 2 years old, must have done something with her car keys because she couldn't find them anywhere. She had to get Papa Lock to come and rekey her car, and it was expensive too. I want to get her a little rack for her new house so she won't have to do this again, to put her keys on. And I gave her a Golden Girl keychain for right now. Oh, that was so frustrating for her. I know it was frustrating to lose your keys like that. Oh, my goodness. Wednesday, this was the 1st of December already. It was a beautiful day with a high in the mid 70s and a low in the mid 50s. I did a weigh in today, 196.6 pounds, and that's up 2 pounds since a week ago. But, all things considered, that's not too bad for Thanksgiving weekend. I'm just not really worried about my weight. I want to keep an eye on it and not go crazy with the sweets, but I'm enjoying having our seasonal treats and dishes. I'll just have to do some damage control after New Year's. I decided to open all the windows and doors and let the cats roam in and out most of the day. It was so nice today, and I was happy to see that most of them are staying close, hanging out on the porch or in the yard where I can see them. I tend to let them have more time outside when they will stay close. I had to go out and break up Marina and Willow. She is so stroppy. I fear between her and Howard, Willow will never feel accepted by the whole pack. Received my final package from overseas today. Forrest and I ordered three things: some English Christmas crackers, a divination kit, and then the Cadbury chocolates from Great Britain. And the chocolates came today. I did an unboxing video on them. They're so different. I can't wait to try them at Christmas. I'm always glad when all my packages arrive and I'm not expecting any deliveries because then I can let the cats out and not have to worry about the delivery driver running them over because I do think about that. So here's the last day, Thursday, and it's the 2nd of December. Another lovely day with a high in the high 70s and a low in the mid 50s. The weather has been just really great the last few days, but today was the cream of the crop. So, since the weather was so nice, I opened all of the windows to get some fresh air circulating, and I found a honeybee on the windowsill, looking like she could barely move. So I took her outside and I gave her a drop of water, where she perked right up and she walked around a bit before she flew away. So I saved a honeybee today. After the great honeybee rescue, I got busy and I did all my household chores. There wasn't a whole lot to do today. So it didn't take long. And then I decided to work on our stockings this afternoon. I think I'm going to make them a bit bigger than the traditional ones I usually buy because I always wish I had more room in there when I start stuffing them. Okay, so yeah, I've been working on the stockings, and hold on just a second. I will show you what I've got. Okay, so this is what I have got so far. I am making two peacock stockings and two of this really cool kind of map print. I picked this out for the guys because it didn't look all girly. Everything else I had some kind of flowers or something on it. And I thought this looked really good for the guys. And the colors match really nicely with the peacock colors. So that I thought they would look good, hanging up there together. So what I did was I just took one of my stockings that I have hanging for decorations and I drew the image. I traced it a little bit bigger around the outside of the stocking. And I did that 2 facing left and 2 facing right in both the peacock and the world map pattern. And then I also did these little strips. And one of the things I'm coming to realize about working with fabric is an iron and a pressing cloth are very important. An iron is very important. So I had to find mine. I didn't know where it was. So after I got these drawn onto the material, I cut out each one just a bit bigger than the pattern. So wherever I drew it on there, I tried to cut it just a little bit bigger. So I cut out all of them, and then also cutting out these strips here. And then on the top of each one, I ironed, I'm going to do a little hem across here to make that edge nice. So I ironed each one where I'm going to hem it, and that's on all of them. And then these are inside out, of course, and I ironed them, and these are going to be the little loops that go on the edge here. So I'll run a seam down here and then turn them right side out and then make them into a loop. And then when I do these, like they will be inside out when I sew them. So I will probably put this on the inside along that edge, maybe like this, so it'll kind of stick out. And then put this on there and then like sew it in there like that. I'm not sure how I'm going to angle that. Maybe I should do it like that. I'm not, well, that'll be on the inside. I got to do it on here so it'll be sticking out of the outside because the outside is going to be in while I'm sewing it. So anyway, I'm going to figure out how to do the little loops, and I've got everything pressed and cut and ready to go. So I'm going to put them together and pin them all together and get them how I want them, and then I will sew them together, and I will hopefully have something that is recognizable as a stocking shape. I hope they don't look like some kind of wonky bags. But yeah, so this is what I've got so far on the stockings, and I'm hoping to go ahead and complete them this weekend. And as soon as I get them done, I will do a little video and show you guys what I got. So yeah, that's what I'm doing with the stockings. Okay, so that was the stockings. And, I haven't watched any videos on how to do it or anything. I'm just kind of winging it. And so I hope they turn out okay. I let the cats out all afternoon. And although they stayed out a little longer than I would have liked, I got everyone back in before dark. The sunset tonight was very beautiful. Lots of red, swirling clouds. I got a pretty good video of it. Often I've noticed that the sunsets don't read as colorful as they actually appear to me in real life. Yeah, I've on several times I've gone back and watched the video and been like, well, that's kind of dull. Sometimes I even decide not to upload it because it doesn't really look very impressive like it does to me here watching it in person. But every once in a while, I guess the light's just right or the color's just right, and it'll really pop and look really nice. So anyway, that was my journal for the last week, and thank you guys for joining me. And until next time, y'all be sweet.